Hello, hello. So, just a moment, please. Yeah. Please bear with us. We shall be getting live shortly. I just want to get Hudson on. Perfect. Yes, Hudson. Can you hear me? Let's
Yes,
start.
hello. Yeah, very well. I hear you.
Okay. So, welcome to Hot Takes presented to you by Sports 256. I am Emmanuel Msinguzi and I am joined here by former basketball player, turned basketball analyst, and one of the leading voices in Ugandan basketball. He's also a renowned sports analyst. He's also a panelist on one of the leading shows about basketball and NBA sports. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show, Mr. Hudson Mugweri.
Yeah, thank you very much, Emma. Thank you very much, Emma. And I'm so happy to be here.
Yes, let's get things running. I know we had some few technical difficulties in trying to really align all this. But as I speak right now, we are live on both Facebook and YouTube simultaneously. So people can still engage by sending us text messages on the chat room, and we shall be engaging. We need to know your predictions about the double header that will be happening tomorrow at Namboole, the Champions League. We shall also be discussing about the FIFA Big League. So, the Uganda Premier League is starting tomorrow. The Uganda Premier League is resuming tomorrow with a double header in Namboole. A very tricky fixture. This is a unique fixture. We shall be we shall be we shall be having a double header that will be as a test. We shall be used as a test match for the CAF approval for the stadium. The first game will be will be Bull against Vipers. Then the one at 7 will be KCCA versus AC Villa. So also, I want you to really throw some light on the fixtures that are happening tomorrow, and also you can give us the slight prediction on the personal the team that will win the.
That's
Sure.
the league is resuming today, not tomorrow, because there's the Western Derby. We have Chitara versus Denver versus Busoga. Chitara is on 47 points. They're also title contenders for this. But tomorrow, the big one is Vipers versus Bull. Who Whoever bottles it is out of the title, out of the rest. That's how I would say. So it's going to be a big game because Bull beat Vipers at St. Mary's Chitende because they comfortably won the game. For this one, Vipers is coming out strong because they're like, we need to take this down. We at Namboole, it's a test match, but it's so technical. I would say that it's so technical. So it will go back down to the coach and down to the players themselves. What are they going to do? Uh, in the previous games we saw, Vipers has been on form. Of course, they beat Chitara at their home ground 2-0. Is a clean win, which was so controversial. I would say that it had a lot of stories, but Bull won the game comfortably, as in Vipers won the game comfortably 2-1. And then Bull made a mistake. They lost to Neck 1-0. They bottled the game 1-0. I was that Lugoga watched the game, they lost the game. So both teams are coming in strong. Bull has got, of course, 46 points. They played 25 games, and Vipers has got 46 points. They played 24 games. So it's going to be some interesting game to watch. I would say that. Yeah.
And the game between KCCA And the game between KCCA and AC Villa, what do these teams have to play for? Looked at the fixture, Villa still has the chance. KCCA has a slight chance. Looking at the results that have been coming in, especially the draw they had against
That,
Brest Stars. So, which team do you think has an upper edge on this fixture?
yeah,
Mm.
it's going to be an interesting game because first of all, Villa has a chance. So for them, they are praying so hard. What they're praying so hard that if Bull and Vipers draw the game, they have a big chance. Like if we beat KCCA, we shall be ahead of them because they've got 45 points. They have 45 points in 24 games played. Them, KCCA and Vipers are played 24 games, not 25 games like in the other top six teams. So it's going to be another big derby. KCCA, of course, drew with Bright Stars, but of course they came from down. We saw they came from down. The first Bright Stars squad, then they equalized, then the Bright Stars squad again they equalized. Then there was a controversial there were incidents which happened between the coach and the player, and the player was complaining, was saying, "Why is it always me who makes the blunder? Why are you always blaming me? You don't blame other people." That's what I heard. That's what I had. Of course, Vida is coming in strong because I would give credit to the coach because he's a new coach in the league, and with what he has done, is the new coach who has remained on the team, who hasn't been fired. The one white guy wasn't fired. Those are the guys that have been fired. We saw Vipers let go of their coach. We saw Kessie letting go of their coach. We saw the who has remained with their coach, and he has done a good job in his first season. I would say that because he has been winning games, and the kind of football they play is so interesting and entertaining. So it's going to be an interesting game to watch. Of course, we have to watch out for Kakande, what he has for us. Then on the KCS side, we have to watch out. Shaban is looking forward to being the top scorer of the league. Kakande is like, you know what, we need this title as well when we're competing for this title. So it's an interesting game to watch, generally.
Absolutely. To add on that, are you surprised to the way the Vipers team has really handled the pressure towards the end of the league? Other teams have been dropping points, and Vipers has really been consistent. Actually, if you look at the stats, the best team in the last 10 games has been KCCA. You can't
Pardon?
even imagine. You can't imagine the best team in the last 10 games has been KCCA. If you were to really table the results of the last 10 games, KCCA will be on top. But unfortunately, they lost quite a lot of games in the beginning of the league, and it has really costed them. Uh, Adding on the issue of the player Mustaffa Kizza and coach Abudalla Mubiru, that incident was really ugly. Most of people were saying that perhaps the coach has lost the dressing room, and trying to look at the stats here, comparing the two teams of last season and the KCC of this season. The KCC of last season, by this point of the point of time, had already won 15 games, drawn only 8 games, and lost 5. If you look at the KCC of this season, it's uh, it's quite telling. The results, they've lost 9 games compared to last season. No, I'm not even including the points per game. Try to really to put this coach into the perspective. They had won 12 games compared to last season, which was 15. So this is a really tougher question that I want to really put across to you, Adson. Do you believe the coach still needs time, or KCA should really look elsewhere to move on from the coach? It's a hard. I wouldn't call for somebody's job, but this is a league that is really results oriented, especially KCC, a team that has always been playing continental football and looking at their budget, the salary, the wage bill, and all that. Do you think they really need to really get somebody who can take them?
Abudalla Mubiru found a disorganized team, first and foremost, found a disorganized team. And as the first one has been the league, was won the league before. We know him as one of the good coaches in our local football. And he has, of course, shown it. With experience, he has showed us an example that, you know what, I can win the league. He found a disorganized team, full of ups and downs. The players fighting with the coach. We saw how Weiss also had to leave KCCA. His departure was wanting. Was questioning. I'm like, how can a player just say let's terminate the contract then out of the blue? We are seeing him signing with Vipers. So meaning the coach, the former coach, and the players were not in good terms. Yeah, but when Abdullah Mubiru came, and we saw the team getting organized and they started winning games. Because last games they've been on form. In a game, I think they have like one draw in the last 10 games. They've been so consistent without the big. So credit to the coach. He came and he saw a team which is not on like how it's supposed, like how we know the KCCA. We have issues. They had issues of the keeper. Who is their number one. We still don't know is their number one. And they rushed to let go of the experienced goalkeeper, was the captain as well. They rushed to let go of him, and we saw what happened. He's not at NEC, and he's doing a job after as the captain of NEC right now. So generally, the team was not the real team, the case we used to see. That when they players, you're like, okay, we're going to see something good. And of course, them missing out over even on Alan Okello was also another big blow to the team. So generally, they're trying to. WWE is trying to do a good job of like. He's trying to get back the KC team we used to watch. The fans are now happy with the kind of football we are playing. They're playing. So generally, he has done a good job. He has done a good job in when
So
the time he has been around
so
compared to the
basically,
previous
yeah. So
coach was
basically,
fired.
you would still keep him around for next season, regardless of not winning or not qualifying for the CAF, uh, continental place in the CAF. Or
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. So on the other note, we're
True.
talking about the fix that will be happening in Namboole. Namboole has had its renovation, it has its patch. CAF also came in and they told them to really make some few changes. What did it meet your expectation in terms of the renovation and all that? I want you to give me a take on exactly you saw and whether the taxpayers really got their money's worth.
Of course, the taxpayers are not impressed because it took us 2 years to finalize the renovation of Namboole. Uh, they first said from few months became a year, from a year became 1.5 years. Now it's 2 years down the road. The pitch isn't yet done with the renovation. Of course, they use the UPDF. Of course, UPDF brought in the consultant.
Mm,
Uh, the taxpayer was the best whereby it took them long to finish up
mm,
with the renovation and the kind of budget which was used. People are like, we can construct another two more stadiums out of that budget. But at the end of the day, let's go and see what happens tomorrow, how the pitch looks like, because with the visitor moving around, it shows that the pitch is nice, the ground is good, the turf is good, uh, the sitting is also good as well. According to the EPDF, uh, they've done some good job, but of course the taxpayer wasn't happy because of the time frame. Also, the budgets which were allocated towards the renovation of Namboole it was a lot of money. But all in all, what we wanted was the finished product. And guess what? Tomorrow we are at Namboole. We are going to see what happens.
yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that's on Mugwere, a very experienced pundit, and also a basketball player and also a basketball pundit. So it will be really bad if we leave the show without discussing basketball, especially the basketball Africa League that happened in Egypt, with City Oilers bowing out with a uh, 1-5 start against the teams and did not make the playoffs. So, what did City Oilers take from this, and what did you observe from the players and City Oilers' performance in the ball?
First, first and foremost, I would say the recruitment was wanting. The recruitment was wanting. I would say that
Mm,
the kind of players Oilers recruited
mm,
were not the kind of players I expected them to bring on board. Uh, Even the captain himself was interviewed and he said it. Hope next time we do a better recruitment because generally, because generally the recruitment was wanting because everyone was complaining, oh, what's
mm.
up with these players? These are the kind of players we're used to seeing. Of course, they missed the services of Orlando Jones due to Egypt. Of course, he plays in Egypt. Egypt played some data game there because they're going to compete against. He was going to compete. He was going to be competing against their team El Ahil, and they played some data game there. So Oilers missed out on him. Then also Robert Jr. was injured. That's also another big blow. Then even the coach's rotation somehow somewhere I did get it. Uh, he didn't use more of the local players. He had 3 weeks with these players, meaning as a coach who's experienced, you can get to know the strength and the weaknesses of these players. But he didn't give them the time of like be on the floor. Apart from James Okello, Titus, and Tony Beliba who had more playing time on from the local base players. Fired add on, let me say, 20 or 18 minutes. Actually, against El Highway in the first round when he played good defense, and everyone was like, wow, how come they're not using him every now and then? So even the coach himself, his rotation wasn't as good as we expected it to be. Of course, they missed the services of Mande Rooney, who has been their coach for over 10 years. You know, he knows how these players, he knows the players so well. But as a coach, they're telling you these are national team players. They played basketball at the continental level before, so they know how to play basketball. They know that they can control the pressure, the tempo, and everything. But you're not giving them playing time. And once you put them on, they deliver. Eh? Then you make the same mistake. You don't put them back on. The players themselves they brought in were playing ISO basketball. That's like if I have the ball, I have to do everything by myself. They're not executing the play so well, which the coach is calling, and you're still putting them on. The player makes over 4 turnovers, but you still still keep him on the court. Be like, Lord, you've made 3 turnovers in a row. Let me sub you. Let me bring in someone else to do a good job. But you're still putting him on court, and he's doing the same mistakes. Generally, it was a bad recruitment, and the coach also the rotation was completely off. It was completely off from the coach. That's why we couldn't go far.
Yeah, and speaking of the turnovers, there was a lot of turnovers. Yeah, I was looking at especially when the team really progresses with the ball and reaches the paint, we just turn over the ball. We can really close the gap, and we really lacked a lot of mid-range shots. Our players were not really good at mid-range shots, especially against Bangi, which had a lot of really huge players, and they really protected the paint and the rim very well. So the only option was really have these mid-range shots and reduce on the turnovers. Yeah, let's move on to the NBL to really catch up with our time. Uh, we've had the we have the league. We had the league last weekend, and there were games that we played, power played. So I want you to give me an insight on the league and your expectation of the standings and your expectation of the team that will take the trophy at the end of it and will represent the country at the Ball Africa. Yes, Hudson.
Of course,
Yes, go on.
The league tipped off. The league tipped off on Friday uh, last week. Power versus Namong Blazers. Then there was also a ladies' game. Of course, KIU taking on Jetty Jaguars. Of course, there was Jetty Jaguars versus KIU Rangers. That was the first game of the ladies, and KIU won the game comfortably. Though the coach of Jetty Jaguars was the, the coach of Jetty Jaguars was ejected in the first half of the game. Sudi Ulanga. Of course, I didn't get his ejection because the truth is, was talking to the umpires, please, whatever you're calling is, you're not being fair to us. But I would say one thing, like, is the coach is supposed to talk to you, give the opportunity to listen. You listen to him, don't just be emotional, give him an injection. And the rush to take him out. Of course, the team lost to KIU Rangers. Then the big game of the night was Power versus Namongo Blazers. It was an interesting game. And Namongo was emerged winners. Of course, it was 70-68. It went up to the last second of the game. Generally, it was an interesting game because we saw a young lad, Newt, playing some good basketball for Namongo Blazers. He had 17 points in the game. It was incredible from him. Generally, he played a good game. Power brought in some new lads as well. They signed some two pieces who played that game as well, a Kenyan and also a guy from UK. Generally, I would say it was a good start of the season. Everyone was impressed with what they're seeing. No one was complaining. No one was saying it's a boring season. Namongo Blazers new players, of course, Arthur Wanyoto and the Congolese also played a good role into their win. Not forgetting Joseph Chuma, what a good one as well. Not forgetting Innocent Ochera, what a good one as well for Namongo Blazers. For again, Power lost on Sunday. They lost to Jetty Jaguars. The Jetty Jaguars won comfortably. The competition is still so tight and stiff. Of course, Oilers hasn't played any game in the second round. I've seen Blazers play, and they're trying to play some good basketball. No one was bad. The how they played. UC is also there. They play a good game as well. Not forgetting KIU as well. So this title, there are like 4-5 teams which are contenders at the title. Of course, as number one, Namboole Blazers. Not forgetting KIU and UCU. I expect those 4 teams to be in the semifinals. So it's going to be some tight competition. Then also there's also a relegation battle which is on. It's so interesting because and there's something which is coming up. They've won their first game, of course, of the second round and relegation. They're also winning their games. On the girls' side, of course, KCCA is there. Leopard is going hard. The title contenders, not forgetting the champions, JKL Lady Dolphins. Not forgetting UCU as well. They are onto it. And of course, there's Jetty and also KIU. So the ladies, we have like 5 title contenders. On the side of the men, we have like 4 of them. So the league is so competitive and so interesting. And the teams are putting a lot of effort and work because they want to see themselves playing continental basketball. The girls also playing that Africa League, which tipped off this year. Now the many side also the champion has to go for BAL. So generally, people are hustling and fighting. So they represent the country of the continent. I'll be so happy to level in the basketball world.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Anton, on that. We'll move on into the European elite teams, the league and the EPL. The rest of the titles is really heating up with Man City really projecting what we call football heritage by coming in with a lot of experience towards the last stretch. Uh, we saw Liverpool really bowing out from the let's say partially bowing out from the title race with their recent
Pardon?
performances, especially with the draw against the game they played last weekend, the draw they got. And I also want to talk about what's your expectation from the two teams that have remained, that is Arsenal and Man City. What do you expect from the last? Arsenal has remained with 3 games, and Man City I think with 4 games. So I want you to really give us an insight on the title race in the EPL. Hello. Yes, we have a slight delay in our transmission, but Hudson will pick up from there. Yeah.
The one thing I know is Man City is a hard team. It's a team which can't lose games just like that. They played Nottingham, they won their game. They have a game in hand. They're going to play Fulham. Another, I expect them that to be another win for them. Guardiola has one thing is that I'm now off the Champions League. My focus is on FA and the Premier League. So it's going to be hard for them. It's going to be hard for him to.
Yeah, I can hear you. Just go on, go on. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a slight delay, but Hudson will be joining us shortly in terms of
Can you hear me well?
the audio. Yeah, we're picking you. We're picking you. There's just a slight delay, but you can always continue with your submission here.
If if Man City makes a mistake and just draws with a team right now that are going to win, Arsenal is not willing to lose. Arsenal is not willing to lose any game right now. If Man City just makes a mistake and draws with any team, Arsenal is still on the race until the last day. If Man City makes a mistake and draws in the game, Arsenal is up there. We saw how they played against Spurs. They had a good first half, 3-0 down, and Spurs had only 2 shots off target, not even on target, but 2 shots off target. As Spurs came back in the second half, they attacked Arsenal so well. Romero scored their first goal because of Briar's mistake. Then also a penalty which came up because Rice did something in the box. But Ateta was so tactical in that thing because after the penalty, he made a quick substitute of bringing a defender, and of course he had to rest Odegaard, which was tactical substitute from the coach. I was so happy what he did. Partey back into the team fully has helped us as well to in that midfield because you can see now Rice is moving up front as well as Odegaard, yet because he knows Partey is there to play that defensive role. The defenders have played a good role. Defenders have played a good part in this Premier League because we've conceded less goals in the Premier League compared to previous season, compared to even another club in the previous seasons. So Arsenal is between the race, but I would say Man City losing a game is going to be hard for them because the Guardiola we know can't easily let go of the trophy when he sees it in his hands. So it's going to be a hard task. Thank you.
How about if you just give an insight? How will the top four? How will the top four look like? Uh, just give me which team do you expect to really make the top four? Okay, I'll start with mine. I'll guess. I think Man City will take will take the title.
Pardon?
Arsenal will come in second. Liverpool distant third. Then Aston Villa. Actually, this I'm taking this from they try to run the results the projection through an AI system in Europe, and that's what the AI really uh, predicted that City will come in first and win the trophy. Then second will be Arsenal, uh, then Liverpool, then
Uh,
Aston Villa. But Arsenal, my prediction is that all the teams will win all their last 3 or 4 games remaining. Just give me an insight on how you see the top four will really look like. Yeah. Hello. Yes, Hudson. We always have a delay. We shall be working on that in the next episode. But Hudson will pick it up from there. Yeah.
my top four will be Man City, Arsenal, not in order. Those two Man City, Arsenal, not in order. Then Liverpool and Aston Villa.
Right. So we today we have some huge game coming up. Later on, that will be Bayern against Real Madrid. Uh, I will also take this opportunity also to ask Hudson on his prediction. But these are the predicted lineups and I think also the teams that have traveled, the players that have traveled to Munich. Uh, Lunin will stay in goal. That is for Madrid. Nacho will take up will maintain his place. Rudiger. This is surprising, and I would want Hudson to really mention this. Uh, Ancelotti has gone with Militao. I think he's going to use a back three. Then Mendy, Valverde, Chouameni, Kroos, Bellingham, Rodrigo, and Vinicius Junior. This is just a predicted lineup. We don't know what Ancelotti will do, but what I can say that Militao is fit and will be in Munich. For Bayern, Neuer will still this is the predicted lineup. Neuer will maintain his place as the number one goalkeeper. Kimmich will come in. Kim, the South Korean Dyer, Davis, Alfonso Davis will maintain his place at left back. Neymar, Goretzka, Sane, Musiala, Gnabry, Kane. The people that are doubtful for this fixture, we have Sane and Musiala. Though he's in the lineup, but I think he had a slight injury, a knock or something from the training session. The injuries that we have in this the lead of Meccano, Coman, Boy, Sa, and Bushman. So Bayern is playing uh, Real Madrid. This is a semi-final. There's a lot at stake here. All these teams have football heritage. So we want to know. My prediction is that Bayern will win this by 2 goals to 1, and 2 goals to 1.
Uh, I would I would say, of course, Mo, Salah and Musiala at the last minute decisions. That's what Thomas Tuchel said. My prediction is so simple. I'm giving Madrid a win. Give Madrid a win in this because they're coming out strong. They're coming out because after what they did in their Premier League, in their La Liga, of course, they're about to be crowned champions after beating Real Sociedad, a 1-0 game, which was a hard game because Real Sociedad attacked them more. But Madrid is coming this game with the thing like, you know what, we can take it down. Of course, they have the issue of their keeper who's injured, but their third keeper is doing a good job. Their defense now, everyone is back. Everyone is back into their defense. Because their midfield is not bad. Of course, Kamavinga, Chuchumani in the bit. Then Toni Kroos is doing his job as well as Modric. And you've got Rodrigo. You've got Vinicius Junior, who's among their top best players. You've got, not forgetting, Jude Bellingham, who's doing an incredible job out there. It's so that is a team to beat because they can play defensive, then they can play attacking. For Bayern, of course, Musiala and Sana are questionable, but Gnabry is to step up. They're not forgetting the danger man Hurricane. He's a guy who can score goals at any minute. So it will be hard